Okay, so I don't know how long I'm gonna have to do this because, well, I got like something coming up in at 2:30. So yeah, and the day I'm making this is Wednesday. Yep, yeah, I finally said it. Did it? Even though I've been doing this for only 2 months now, I'm finally bringing it up. So yes. So, I bet a lot of us as kids grew up with some with a lot of children's television. There's like many nostalgic channels we remember fondly of. And I am more of a a Nickelodeon person, but I did in fact grow up with a bit of Cartoon Network here and there. Come on, there are a bunch of classics. Like you got Ed, Edd n Eddy, okay, Johnny Bravo, Courage the Cowardly Dog, which for some reason my mom didn't like it when I watched that, but somehow later on, when my parents got divorced and my mom and I moved into an apartment, I started watching it and she didn't even react. In fact, I even remember bringing it up to her. I'm like, how come you, oh really? I could say the same, like when you didn't allow me to watch Courage the Cowardly Dog. And my stepdad was like, oh my God, trust me, I've watched that with your stepsister and there was a bomb on that show. I'm like, okay. But I don't know if she even remembers it. But hey. And, we even got Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. And there's just a lot out there that you could possibly think of. But today, I want to talk about a show that I didn't just love, but my mom somehow grew to love as well. It both became our favorites. And that show is Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. So when I was growing up, there were times where, I don't know, I was either in the mood to watch Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network. I was never a big Disney Channel person because, I don't know, because I wasn't a fan of their, live action stuff. I thought, I don't like this. And also, back then, I always thought live action shows were always creepy. Because they had, I don't know, something creepy. And I just decided to never give them a watch. But I'll explain that some other time. So here's what. So I actually I don't quite so much remember, even watching it. Actually just watching it for the first time again, because I was very young, like a toddler. But hey. I guess that's what happens. And I don't know why. I just loved watching the show. It was so funny. I laughed at whatever it was they did. And, oh, man. Seriously, there was so much humor and a lot of good things. Oh, and also, there's some people, two of them that actually worked behind this. That actually worked, on the show. There's Warren Faust, who, I think all of us in the Brony, who I believe all of us in the Brony community may know of. I mean, she created the new Friendship is Magic. In fact, 20% cooler right here. Yep. And this one, and also, one of the characters, Frankie, who, I guess helped out at the home for, Imaginary Friends, was voiced by, Grey DeLisle herself. Yeah, she's, one of my favorites, if you're wondering. And, so and also, who could forget that, I guess, Craig McCracken, who created the show, is also the guy behind the Powerpuff Girls and, just a lot of others. Yeah. Although, let us forget about that Powerpuff Girls reboot because, ugh. I mean, I I mean, I'm not that big of a fan, but I understand why a lot of people like it, and I understand why they're mad. But luckily, I was happy to hear that it got canceled, so thank God. So, I think I might want to talk about my favorite character on the show. Now, here's the thing. My favorite character, oh my God, well, okay, I know some people pretty much, I don't think everyone kind of likes this character because, well, I don't know, he kind of doesn't really do nice things, and that is, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. I don't know if people are gonna be okay with this or not. My favorite character is Blue, okay? I don't know why. He makes me laugh, okay? And if you say that he's not a good character, then you can bite my butt. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, but I know there were some, but hey, I mean, come on, there was another unlikable character, like, remember Mr. Harriman? I think that was his name, you know, the rabbit guy? I don't know, it's been a while since I've watched it. And all, I mean, although when I was younger, I didn't really care about him. And I guess I'm happy I did. Because I'm telling you, looking at him now, I'm like, wow, this guy, worst character on the planet. What the heck? I mean, well, I guess there's one show that has to have one unlikable character. Am I right? Yeah, I am. So there's a few little stories I think I would like to share, you know, from watching the show. And I think, well, this first one, okay, so once I went to this, pizza restaurant with a friend and her mother, and, you know, my mom was there too, and, I don't know if some of you may have heard of it, but I think it used to be a thing, but it closed down, like, you know, I guess a few years ago. It was called a Shakey's Pizza, yeah, and, you know, like, it was kind of like Chuck E. Cheese, but it was kind of like Chuck E. Cheese, you know, like, you had games, and, you know, you could eat pizza, yeah, and, well, they actually had Cartoon Network playing on their TV, and, you know, you got all that, and so, you know, we were, like, sitting at a table, and Foster's was on, and I was looking up at the TV. Yeah, like, we were, like, we were near a table where one of the TVs were on, and I was laughing hysterically, and my mom turned back, and she saw what was on, and she just said, we like that show. It's one of the best shows on the planet. And my friend was like, my mom never allows me to watch that show. And then she asked her mom, how come you never allow me to watch that show? And then her mom just replied with, I just think it's stupid. How could it be stupid? It's really funny. I don't really remember what she said after that. Another time, I think I remember, I can't exactly remember when this happened, but, so, Mom and I were having a random conversation about, like, I guess cartoons, and my mom brought up, you made me feel like I was living with a cartoon character. I'm like, really? Which one? And she was like, you know, Blue from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. You know, you like that show. I'm like, oh yeah. Wait, did I really? And I was like, yeah. Right. Okay, and this last one. Okay, so one time my mom was scrolling through like cable TV, and she somehow found Foster's on the guide, and she was like, okay, recording. And I guess a minute later, my mom, and somehow, I guess, I don't know, a few days later, my mom told me, hey, I recorded the show Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. You can watch that. Yeah, I did. It was fun. Nice nostalgic memories, if you know what I mean. Okay, so I don't really have anything much to say about it, but I just gotta say, it was a really good show. But here's one thing. I know that Cartoon Network's been having a lot of reboot stuff lately, and I know some people probably don't want some other shows to be rebooted. And you know what? Here, thinking about this, I think Cartoon Network, don't reboot Foster's, okay? I love that show. Please keep it the way it is, because if you do, you're going down. Like, you're going to be sentenced to death. Yep. So, yeah. So that's all I pretty much got to say about this. So, I'll see you guys next time.